microlinks versus like maybe a braidless, and then also I know there are different types of links, and I know you have some beautiful links that you want to show the girls.
Yeah, if you're natural, you know, you have to be very careful depending on what your hair type is. In all honesty, I really don't recommend it for like a 4C type of hair, because when you wash your hair, if you have to detangle your hair a lot, you're going to be putting in detangler and oils. It's going to be a lot of maintenance. And typically they don't like to make hair that is super bushy, because if it is, sometimes that hair tangles a little bit more. And then think about your hair matting and that hair matting, and sometimes also at the root, the base of the root, the hair can go over top of the clips, and it can tangle up on the clips. And I've seen a lot of people telling everyone, oh, this is the most best thing for your hair and whatever. And I don't know if it's because they're kind of new doing it, but I'm like, it depends on the person's hair. Everyone's hair is different, so it's really a case by case scenario that I prefer to do it. That's why I do require a consultation.
Yeah, consultation key.
Right. Now, with Miss Nina, she is awesome at taking care of her hair. She's had, before we did this, and she's always wanted the microlinks, but we were doing the braidless a lot. But she was really good with the braidless. And then also, too, you have to be open. Like, when you try these different extension methods, they are not protective styles. They are extension methods. And, I consider myself not really a hairstylist, like an extensionist. And I have a multicultural clientele, so I do a lot of different heads. For our hair, this is not a protective style, because all our hair is out and it can get dry at the end. So you have to tell yourself, okay, I can get this method. I really love it. It'll be very flexible. It's good for your scalp, because you can get in there, you can treat your hair, you can condition your hair. You can't really do that with a sewn in, but when you come out of it, you may need your ends clipped. I wouldn't use it as a method to grow my hair out. And that's just by me being honest. Sometimes I lose money by being honest, but I'd rather be honest with the client, because they're not cheap things to do. It costs a lot of money. I want you to be happy with what I do for you after it's done.
Right.
As of right now, this is the curliest one that I have. If I go this is a deep wave. But if I go any curlier, I make those links. So if somebody wants a kinky curly, as of right now, I just have to know ahead of time so that I can prep the kinky curly hair before their appointment.
Now, Miss Gina, let me just take a look at the tip, because this is the I-tip, right?
Right. So microlinks are done with the I-tips. These I-tips, they're a little thick up at the top, but I'm working with my company to try to get them to make them a little smaller for me at the top.
Okay.
But yeah, this is what I-tips look like. Sometimes they come in skinnier, sometimes they come in larger, but it's an I-tip.
So that's not to be confused with the weft, right?
Right.
Can we look at the weft? Because some people that I've seen promote microlinks,
oh yeah,
they're sewing the weft onto the beads or the little links,
right?
And that is
not microlinks to me. And like I said, I am an extensionist, so I kind of have everything divvied out, like different processes. A lot of people are taking the wefts. There is a couple different ways to put wefts in without braids. The braidless weave is when I take the links and I put them like in a row across the head. Then I will take thread and I will sew it down. But there's another method that some people call that microlinks. But another method they're calling microlinks is when they take the weft and they take a little piece of your hair and a little piece of the weft hair, and you connect it with only the link without any thread. My experience with that, because I do that one also, it is more flexible than the braidless weave, but it comes out faster because it'll slip on the end sometimes. Like on the last ones on the side, sometimes people do have slippage. Normally when they come in, it's already coming off. The braidless weave, I rarely have anyone where it's coming off. I mean, it's growing down, but not coming off. So people that I have had that have had the other one, and when they come in and I do the braidless on them, they prefer the braidless because it holds better and they can wear it longer. If you get the one with just the link itself with the weft, then I really recommend that you come in every 4 weeks or so to tighten them up. The braidless weave, depending on the person, depending on the care of the hair, depending on the growth, usually about 2.5 to 3 months is when clients come back in to get that one redone. As far as flexibility, now it depends on how thick your hair is. Like, sometimes people come in like, I want to be able to do this and that with my hair, and sometimes you can.
There was a young lady just asked me, I'm sorry,
it's okay.
about working out, and I know like this style is really versatile.
It is.
You know, you can put it up, you can braid it like every night. Like I will part my hair into like 3 big sections and do just like a braid, you know, coming down so it doesn't get tangled. But you know, I can put it up, I can wear it down, and you could do a lot with the Microlink style. But
the great thing with the Microlink, since it's not on a track and it's like smaller pieces of hair, if someone tells me how they want it installed, like if someone comes and say, hey, I want to be able to do a half and half, or I want to be able to do 2 braids down the side or whatever, when I install it, I would install it without putting them all back to back. I'll leave out the spaces, like, you know, I'll do pretty much back to back. And then when I get to a space where the half and half would be, I'll leave out a section of their own hair so they can cover the lengths. If they say they want to do a lot of ponytails or buns, then I make sure that I install it based on what it is the specifications are. Because, so, you know, the density of people's hair is different. So sometimes if their hair is very, very thin, it is harder to hide the lengths.
So consultation is key because it depends on your hair texture. Like I know I have big hair.
She loves big hair though. She loves big hair. The bigger the better.
Yes. And then there are some people with like thinner hair for sure. So you just really have to do your consultation and respect, you know, where you're at, and definitely have realistic expectations.
Exactly. I think the realistic expectations is key to everything. And then also with these styles, you have to want to take care of your hair.
Yeah.
You know, you have to. Because sometimes people will get these and they're like, oh, no big deal. It's just like a weave. I don't have to do anything. It can turn into a matted mess underneath if you don't. You know, there's a type of brush called a loop brush. You want to have a loop brush, so when you're brushing over top of it, if you have like a paddle brush, because it has the little pins, it'll get stuck up in the top of your hair where that new growth is. But if you have a loop brush, they specifically make it with a loop. So let me see if I have one, because then I can kind of show.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is just, you know, some of the hair that she has, like straight, wavy.
Size the hair comes in.
Yeah.
And if the person's hair is thick, thin. Nina, a lot of her hair, we double link some, and then some is single linked. If your hair is more fine or if it's more kinky, sometimes I will double link it so that when you're combing through, you're not pulling it out. Because whenever you do comb your hair with these in, you always want to start from the bottom and work your way up. But you always want to make sure that you go up to right under where it's connected, so that you're actually combing your own hair out. Because sometimes people forget to comb out their own hair.
Yes.
So this is the brush that you would use. I mean, it's a little chewed up, but it's the loop brush. So if you look closely at it, you can see how it has the loops.
Yeah.
And that helps it to not get stuck where the new growth is at the top of the hair.
Yeah.
With you still being able to kind of comb it a bit. You can't really get above the clip that much, but this is going to be the best tool for you to get to that area.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, so any more questions? Does anyone have any questions for me?
Miss Narissa or anyone that's on, do you have any questions for my beautiful Gina? I'm sure you're going to see this live later and you might have some questions. Oh, would you mind taking my phone so you can show them in my hair?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so she is just kind of like coming back into my hair, and how often would you recommend coming to have, you know, the... you
can be on here with me now. Yeah, I would say I tell my clients every 8 to 10 weeks. It kind of depends on hair growth, but 8 to 10 weeks is ideal. If their hair grows super fast, some people do come in like every 6 weeks, but 8 to 10 weeks is perfect. You know, and I'm going to show you guys the ones that I actually did. I did actually maintain a couple of them so far. So when I do maintain them, this is what it looks like. So this is the ones that are back up to the scalp right there. Okay.
Yay!
Now, I don't know if I missed anything, but if I did, just let me know. And
I think that's it, Miss Gina. Thank
you. If they have any questions later, you guys can just let Nina know or whatever, and you know I'll answer to the best of my ability. But thanks. Nice to meet you.
Nice. Yes.